one of the big crimes right now is called BEC, business email compromise.
Can you explain
That's
that?
huge. And we had a guy for a while that was on a task force, and now through budget constraints or whatever, we don't even have that person on that task force anymore. Business email compromise is where a suspect figures out how to get into the email accounts of people at any type of business. Real estate's ripe for this. And what they do is they'll go in, they'll find a real estate company, and they'll figure out a password that opens up somebody's account. And they'll just monitor this person's account for a period of time. And that person may be a loan officer or an escrow person. And at some point during their emails with all their legitimate transactions, they get to a point in a real estate transaction where they're giving an escrow or payment instructions.
Oh.
And then what the suspect does, because they have access to his account, but they're not doing anything with it, they're just going in and reading the emails and keeping track. Once they see that instruction email is getting ready to come out, they will go in, change the password, lock out the escrow officer, take over as purporting to be that escrow officer, and send new wiring instructions to the person making the payment of like a deposit or 20% down or some sort of profits from a sale. And the money will get wired to an account, and the person sending the money to that account believes they're dealing with the legitimate escrow company, but their account's been taken over.
Oh, jeez, how do these fraudsters even like figure out whose email address to? I'm assuming they're hacking into the email account, right?
Yes and no. So the way it works is there's so much information out there on LinkedIn, just on the website of a company. You can get the hierarchy of a company. You can find out who's the president, vice president, accounts payable, loan officers. You can get all that. You can get their phone numbers that way. You can get their email addresses. Sometimes they don't hack the email address. They may just spoof the email address. They might, if it's, Jim Smith at abcmortgage.com, they might create an email that create a domain that looks like it. So instead of Jim Smith at abcmortgage.com, it's Jim Smith at abdmortgage.com, and they create their own domain, and then they start corresponding with people that way. But the way you get the passwords and all that is your information is everywhere out there now, and it's already been compromised by every business you deal with has been hacked. There's a website called Have I Been Pawned?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Have I been pawned? I'm going to write that down. Okay.
Have I Been Pawned? And pawned is spelled Pwned. Have I Been Pawned?